going to talk about building your belief, which then builds your bank. Okay. Now, we said it already, but this business is all about what's between your ears. Okay. If you get it right up here, it's going to fall into place. And I think that's a step that a lot of people misunderstand in the beginning. Okay. Yes, it takes reps. You have to have the activity because the activity is what also builds what's going on up here. The more activity you have, the more confidence you have, right? Think about anybody play sports? Put a yes in the chat if you ever played sports in school or just for fun. Anybody start off like really, really good at a sport? Just like natural, I've got it all down. Technique is perfect. I can shoot free throws all day long with my eyes closed, and I've been able to do that since I was 2 years old. Did anybody start off that way, or did we all kind of suck in the beginning, right? We all kind of sucked. But what did we do? We practiced, we practiced, we practiced until we got better. We didn't really think much of it, right? Did anybody really like when they're, let's say, 8 years old, playing volleyball for the first time and couldn't get a single serve over the net? Did I think I will never, ever, ever be able to get a serve over the net? No way, no how. No, I didn't know, right? I didn't know that that was even a thing I should think about. I just knew that if I kept going, it's going to work. I saw it working for other people. I saw girls older than me that could do it, so I figured eventually I'd be able to do it. And then guess what? I did. And that's exactly how this business is. And I think as adults, we tend to forget that the starting process of everything new is the same. We go through that clunky, like wobbly legs. I don't really know what I'm doing. I feel super uncomfortable. I'm sure I look silly. I'm sure that other people are looking at me thinking how bad at this I am, right? Like we all kind of start there. But then the more we walk, the more steps we take, the more self assured we become. Any parents in here have seen that happen with their kiddos, right? I've seen it firsthand with my son Brooks. He just kept trying to get up until he stood up. Then he just kept taking steps till he took one more. They didn't think anything of it, right? They didn't think anything about being discouraged or thinking, I'm just never going to walk. I'm going to be a stationary person my whole life. I'm just going to sit here until I'm 80. Right? They don't think that. That's just not how we are programmed. But somewhere along the way, through trial, through error, right? Through maybe a little bit of outside influence on the people around us, we start to question whether or not we can do things. And so this is, I think, the most important aspect of this business is getting your mind right. And here's what you need to know. You have to practice this. Okay? What I made the mistake of was I thought, okay, some days I'm going to just feel like I'm on fire. You just wake up in a great mood. Maybe something good happens. Maybe you wake up and you've gotten a couple deposits in your bank account and you're like, nothing can touch me today. Nothing can. I am just going to cruise. I'm super fired up. All your appointments show up. You write on most of them. They're all instant approved. Like we just have those days and they feel amazing. But then we have another day where like everything just piddles. Everything just falls apart. And we think, oh my God, I can't do this. I'm losing it. I'm losing my touch. I'm losing my skill. Maybe I can't do this business, right? Isn't that funny how the brain works? On the good days, we don't think like, oh, this is how it's going to be forever. Like, I can do this no matter what. Good days, bad days, I am in it for the long haul. This is where I'm at. Like, we think like that a little bit, but we don't think in the long term or in the extremes like we do when we have a bad day. We let those bad days get to us a lot more than we let the good days. Anybody guilty of that, or is it just me? Put a yes in the chat, or put a me, put a guilty, whatever you want. Let's share, right? Knowing is half the battle. Anybody else guilty of that? Like they let the good days get to them better than the bad days? Here's the thing, right? You have to practice. You have to get yourself into that nothing can touch me attitude every day. And some days it's going to be easier than others, but you can control that. Reading really helps, okay? We're going to keep talking about it because that's really, really crucial. Reading something first thing, getting some exercise first thing, doing some stuff to help you feel proud of yourself first thing in the morning, that carries on throughout the rest of the day. We've all had those off days where we wake up a little bit late. Maybe we didn't hit some of those to-do list items that we want to do in the morning, like get a workout in, right? Get a nice shower in, get some coffee, have some time to ourselves before our crazy toddler wakes up. Maybe some days we just don't do that. And then the rest of the day kind of, unless we take some time to intentionally get ourselves in that mindset, the rest of the day kind of feels a little bit off. That's the key, right? You got to get yourself into that position, whatever you need to do. And you know yourself, right? You know what does it for you. And if you don't, try things until it works. So again, this takes practice. But what I want to talk about right now is that in terms of this business specifically, okay? Getting yourself into the right mindset, awesome. But what about when it comes to specific areas of activity that we tend to freak out about? What about when it comes to just dialing, right? Or reaching out to warm market, putting ourselves out there. Either way, you're putting yourself out there. So how do we actually trigger our minds to feel unstoppable, like unbreachable in these specific moments? Let's talk about that. Anybody want to hear about that? How we can help our mindset get a little bit right before dialing or before posting or before sharing or before messaging people? Anybody want to know how to do that? I love it. Let's get to 99 chats before this call is over. I think we can do it. Mindset reset. I want everyone to repeat after me, not out loud on Zoom because that'll get a little bit weird, but repeat out loud with muted. Okay, be muted, but you can repeat out loud. Okay, so here we go. They need me more than I need their approval. Say it. They need me more than I need their approval. Objections are just reflection. They're not rejection. When someone gives you an objection, that's a normal human response. People don't like to be sold. People have their guard up. Whenever someone approaches them with something, maybe they're not ready, right? When someone calls you like off out of the blue and you're like, I don't know what this is. I'm a little bit like, what, my guard's up. That's how people are when we reach out to them. So an objection is not a no. It's a reflection of, okay, I'm thinking. This is my first response to give me some time to think, or this is my first response because I don't know what this is. It's not a rejection. It's just a little challenge you get to overcome. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Say that out loud, please. Ready, set, go. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Understand that, okay? We get so into our heads about what the perfect words are that we lose sight of who we're even talking to. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. How many people have just fumbled through an appointment and somehow the client's still like, yeah, how do I get this started? You're like, how in the heck did I do that? Anybody had one of those? Put a yup in the chat if you've ever had one of those. Anybody have like a weird warm market interaction where someone's like, I'm just like, what are you doing? I'm looking for something. And it just kind of works out, right? They get hired, they move forward, they're in the business with you. And you're like, I didn't have a perfect script for that at all. But it just kind of worked out, right? You just kind of fumble your way through, and the right person is just ready. So know that, okay? Don't worry about the perfect words. There are no such thing as perfect words. It's just about saying them, right? Just get the words out. And if the right person's the right person, they're going to grab onto them. So again, you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person either, by the way. Again, there are no perfect words. You cannot say the right thing to the wrong person to change their mind. If they're the wrong person, they're the wrong person, whether it comes to being a client or whether it comes to being an agent. So trust that. You feel it, right? You know, everyone here has that gut instinct about somebody. You can kind of tell when a client's just going to be difficult or when an agent's just going to be difficult. They're not the right person. So just know that, right? Don't put your energy into trying to change people. Put your energy into just finding the right ones because they're there waiting for you. If you stay consistent, your harvest is guaranteed. You guys, I've been here for almost 6 years. And if nothing else is true, it's that. Consistency leads to guarantees. So when you're thinking to yourself, I hope this works. I need this to work for me. I really, really hope I get this figured out, you're already not thinking the right way. It's, I'm going to make this work. This will work for me. This business is not biased. There's no reason why some people win and some people don't, aside from something that they did or did not do. The business doesn't care. Insurance does not care where you come from. Insurance does not care what you've done in the past. Insurance does not care how old or young you are. Insurance does not care. It's just here. It's us that do things with it, right? It's up to us. So, consistency, showing up even on the days where you don't want to, especially on the days where you feel like your efforts are futile and nothing's happening, those are the days that matter. Those are the days. It's easy to show up when things are going well. It's easy to dial when you've already got 15 appointments on the books and you're like, these, I don't even care if I book any anymore, right? That's when it's easy. But you got to get yourself there. So if you stay consistent and you are in it no matter what, if that's your mindset, stop testing this out. If you're testing this out, you will not make it. But if you want to make it, stop testing, start doing. This is going to work for you. You just have to decide if that's really what you want. Do you want what this lifestyle provides? Do you want the income that this business can offer? You guys, I came from making no more than $40,000 a year. I job hopped like that was my job. I got 2 degrees that I do not use, and I stayed in that industry for 6 months before I quit. I jumped around because I was looking for something that felt easy, that felt right for me. But you know what I found is that there's no such thing. And if it's easy, it's boring. So what I learned is that there's no reason why this business can't work for me. There are some days where it's hard, and there are some days where it feels easy, but that's how everybody is. You might see on the leaderboard someone showing up week after week after week, and you're like, it must be easy for them. But what you don't know are all the days that it was hard, because it was. There's not a single person here that's had it easy. So you're not the exception, okay? You're the rule. And that means that you have to keep showing up until it works for you. Until, not if, until. Understand that. And again, this is not easy for anyone at first. Say it with me. This is not easy for anyone at first. Dribbling a basketball is not easy for anyone at first. Think about that. I learned how to ski as an adult, and that was not easy at first, right? Even standing on skis on the flat ground was not easy at first, but it became easy as I kept doing it. So here's a fun little side challenge that I just came up with on the spot here. If you find yourself like wondering really if I'm right, find a new hobby and take that up. Something that you can dedicate your time to. Maybe it's painting, maybe it's running, maybe it's whatever. Kickboxing, I don't care. Pick up a hobby. It's good for you. It's good for your mindset, by the way. But something that you can dedicate to and watch yourself through your own learning curve. Watch yourself keep showing up even when it's hard, but you know that you can do this. Get to the other side and realize it's the same thing with this business. You're going to feel the same things. You're going to feel that moment of despair where you think that this is not right for you. You're not the right person. This is not going to work out. But then you go to one more kickboxing class and you're like, breakthrough. I can do it. Right? You go to one more painting class and you think, oh my gosh, light bulb. That's when the light bulbs happen, by the way. It's not before. The light bulbs happen after you feel like there's no end in sight. Then they show up, right? Right when you're laying in bed and you're thinking, tomorrow's going to be so hard. If it's anything like today, I don't know if I can make it through it. But guess what? I'm going to, because I decided I'm going to. This business is for me. It is for me. And I'm going to make it that way. No matter what, I'm going to find a way. There's always a way. If you come here with $0 in your bank account, there is always a way to make this business work. And if you don't believe me, listen to the treasure troves of national calls and you will find example after example after example. I know people that have been homeless, living in a car, and are here now making God knows how much, right? I know people that have come from established six-figure careers and had to start all over as a brand new student, become extremely humbled because it's hard to start something new, especially a career as an adult, and they did it. And I know everyone in between. I know people that have started this business at 19 years old and have consistently showed up and learned what they need to do to grow. So there's no reason why everyone on this call cannot do this. There's no reason at all. And if you try to tell me, I'm not going to believe you. It's up to you to decide that this is for you. Let's talk about dialing specifically. I want you to write these down. Everyone should have a notebook. Every call, you should have a notebook. Because even if you don't like me, there might be something I say that's like, okay, that might make sense. Okay, write this down. You are not chasing clients. You're collecting confidence. Next time you sit down to a dial session after this, think, I'm not here to chase people. I'm not here to even make money, right? Eliminate those in your mind. Of course, we're going to make money. Okay, bear with me. I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to do anything except I'm collecting confidence because I know every time I dial this phone and I push through that little scary little moment of like that stomach drop that I'm going to call somebody and talk to them. Oh my God, I'm collecting confidence. Every time you do something that you really don't want to do, but you know it's good for you, you are collecting confidence. Every single dial. Okay? You're collecting confidence. And guess how much confidence you're going to be after you dial 500 times versus 100 times. That's how it works. It's math. Every dial equals data. Okay, every time, get curious. Every time you make a phone call, okay, what did I learn? Even if it's they didn't answer. Okay, what did I learn? All right, I'm going to call from another number next time. I'm going to call from a different time of day next time. What did I learn? Every time you talk to somebody, what did I learn? What's one little thing that maybe I could tweak? Or maybe it's, what do I need to learn mindset-wise, right? Maybe I did everything right and it still didn't work. What did you learn? They weren't the right person. You're always going to learn something. Focus on that. After every time you hit that call button, what did I learn? No is not personal. Think of all the times you've said no. Every time you go into a store and they ask you, can I help you find anything? And you say no. Are you saying it because you don't like that person? Or like you have some vendetta against them? No. A lot of times you are looking for something, but you feel that same thing that we all feel of, oh, I don't want to be sold. Right? I don't want to talk to people because that means that I'm going to have to communicate. Right? We all kind of feel that way. So just know it's not personal. You've been on the other side of this and you know how you felt, right? You know that you weren't thinking about them. You were thinking about you. So remember that people aren't thinking about you. They're thinking about them. This is all part of the process. You're going to get no's. Okay. You are going to get no's. Start collecting no's. Collect your no's. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Now you're not begging. You're building. You are all licensed individuals. And if you're not yet, you will be. You're a professional. Even if today's your first day, you know more than 90% of the population about this. So no, you're not begging people. You're building. You're building your business. Okay? We don't have time for the wrong people. We have time for the right people. And you deserve the right people. And you're going to find them if you keep going. You're only looking for the interested ones. Again, right? I don't care who's going to tell me no. They're not the right person. You're looking for the interested ones. And you know when you find them, right? They're the easy clients. They're the ones that listen. They're the ones that don't like put you on eggshells when you talk to them. They're the ones that ask questions, but it's because they're clarifying, not because they're saying no. Okay? You're just looking for the interested ones. You're not trying to make people interested. Think of this like a deck of cards. You're just looking for the face cards. You're going to flip one over and it's a 10, but you might think it's a jack, right? It's close. Like maybe it's a jack, but you realize it's just a 10. Now, not our person, not what we're looking for. Every single phone call you make, you're thinking, is this a face card or is this not a face card? You're just looking for the face cards. You got to flip over every single one to see though. You don't know when they're upside down, which one's a face card. You got to flip them all over. Think of that with your stack of leads.